German dance, 3 distinct sections, each phrase repeats. Make sure your dynamics are appropriate to a repeated phrase. What else do I need to say? 3/8. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Down bow on the downbeat most of the time, up bow on the upbeat most of the time. So you want a light textured up bow, and I'm sure that you already know this is going to be predominantly in the lower half of the bow. So it's got that fluffy texture, I suppose. It's a dance, so it should have a feeling of movement and grace and a moderate tempo, but obviously not on the slow side of the moderate tempo. I think this piece is not difficult. Sometimes we learn it between movements of the G minor. Sometimes we wait and it's the easy bit between the G minor and the double buck. Probably the big challenge is getting really stunningly good intonation because you have a lot of flats, 3, B flat, E flat, A flat, that kill the natural resonance of the violin. So those G naturals and D naturals need to really sing because they're your glowing notes. And we need to check that the B flats and the E flats are consistently very well in tune. Other note to hone in on is this A flat that happens. That's a bit of a risky note because you've got to shift up while you're playing an open A and then drop the 4th finger onto the A flat. Let's have a playthrough at a moderate tempo and then come back to any trouble spots. Okay. With grace, and that 1, 2, 3 is a familiar time signature from the G minor. You'll want these fingers to be really soft and flexible, so make sure that your thumb is positioned on its corner and that you can squish these fingers nicely. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, the right elbow is always moving. So if you find your arm opening and shutting like a hinge, try and switch that off and remember to do the big movements with the big muscles and the smaller movements with the smaller muscles. So I have this feeling of this with my arm all the time. I'm also conscious of keeping my left shoulder quite loose because there's a lot of quick shifting in here. So things like the right at the beginning, that's going to be a really great shift. And then you reverse it. So it's worth drilling those and making sure your B flat is always exactly the same B flat every time and it's consistently in tune. When you play, you need to make sure that the dynamic balance of your hand shifts a little bit so that you get a ringing 3rd finger. The weight's more towards the center of my hand, and then as my elbow swung through, my 1st finger can drop onto the D string and be in tune. Not, okay, no squirmy notes. Try that and make sure you're really well in tune. Ready? Play. Again. Yeah, make sure this elbow comes through. I'll give you a different perspective. Oh, sorry. So I'm really shifting on my B flat. Yeah, place the 3, 1. And then I'm going to shift up to the position for the A flat. When you shift, it's important and, well, very helpful to remember that you're actually moving here. So, there's my 3rd position shift. Okay, if I move with my arm, this being my arm. If I think of that moving, it's too slow. If I move with the hand leading, it's way too slow. So think of relaxing in your shoulder so that this drops nicely into position, and suddenly those A flats that you need to grab on the A string, oh, there we go, get a lot simpler as well. So let's play bar 6 and 7, just those 6 notes, making sure that you shift while you're playing the D and drop the 4 on. You can't slide into it because we'll hear the note that isn't an A flat on the way to being an A flat. So ready, play. Again. Make sure you shift as you're playing the D. Ready, and shift. Yeah, so as I'm playing the D, my hand's already in that 3rd position, ready to drop into the extended 4th finger. And it is a shifted 3rd position because there's the ringing D and the E flat. Oh, the other little good spot to really drill and practice well is at bar 17. This. Same note 3 times. Different tone quality, but same pitch. Same thing at bar 19. Same pitch. Different tone quality. Think about your vibrato. This 4th finger's got a much shallower, faster vibrato. When you come to the 2nd finger, it's a lot wider and fatter, so you get different emphasis. And that's going to support the crescendo that's happening through bar 19, and which is repeated on the next line in bar 27. So, doesn't give you the same crescendo support. Gives you a lot more to work with. Working on that and investing the effort into the dynamics, because without dynamics, this is really boring. Another good spot to check is bar 37 to 38. We're shifting from 3rd position to 2nd position, and we're doing it from a 1st finger to a 2nd finger and a G natural to a G natural. Oh, G natural to G natural. Got a ring, same note, same note. Okay, let's play that a little bit. 37 and 38, ready? 3rd position, play. Yeah, again, ready, play. I'll just turn so you can check the fingers are correct. Ready, play. Try and make sure that you're playing right on the tips of your fingers so that you're not dragging them or sliding back on them with poor posture. Ready, play. And we want that ringing G. You'll only get it if your fingers are off the G string. If you're touching it, it's not going to ring. So I think that's about everything that's difficult in here or challenging in here. I think it's wise to mark the semitones where they fall in, like right at the end. Ringing D, E flat. Really flat E flat. Okay, not E a bit flat, but E flat, genuinely E flat. Work on fingers staying perpendicular to the string and as much as possible dropping onto the string so that we never get this kind of crunchy posture with baggy knuckles. Look forward to seeing your videos or hearing your versions.